Hey, welcome back. Today we're going to be talking about Boer cross goats. I want to make the distinction real quick that these are Boer cross goats. They're not, purebred South African Boer goats. It's quite a difference. Where I live in the southeastern part of the United States, there's a huge prevalence of Boer crosses. Um, they definitely do have their economical pros and cons. Uh, Especially here in the southeast, we have lots of woods, and so purebred Boer goats really don't do that well in a wood setting because they're so large they can't sustain their body weight uh, effectively on browse. So they're a bit more of a grazer. Whereas these crosses, they're generally crossed with either a Kiko or some dairy breed, which Kikos are essentially a dairy breed anyways. But so they're leaner, uh, not quite as heavy and chunky of a goat, and they're lighter weight too. So that way they can be more efficient. So I guess the boar and their genetics allows them to gain weight fast and get pretty big, more so than just raising pure dairy goats. And then the dairy part of them allows them to, I guess, basically be more efficient browsers. So, anyways, these are boar cross goats. Most boar crosses, they generally will still have the typical brown head or black head with white body. Although, depending on what they're crossed with, they will, uh, you know, have other breeds of goat characteristics, either multicolored or spotted or what have you. So, boar crosses I think are really good starter goat if somebody's wanting to raise goats because they're big enough where they're not going to get out of makeshift pens as much, and they're very more laid back. The small goats tend to weasel through fencing and whatnot, trying to go exploring, whereas my experienced Boer goats are more chill. Um, Depending on what they're crossed with, too, you might have some decent dairy ability for like a homesteader. So you'll have a bit more of a dual purpose kind of deal with a Boer cross. You don't have an excessive amount of milk from a pure dairy goat, but then you don't have an excess amount of meat on your hands like a pure Boer goat. So Boer cross is pretty good. Plus, they're pretty easy to get a hold of. You can go to local auctions, Craigslist or whatever, and they're pretty common. So, um, price wise, it'd be a lot easier to go the Boer cross route. Um, they're pretty decent for. They're okay for parasites. Not as good as a Kiko would be, but if they're a Boer Kiko cross, well, then you might have a good thing there. Generally, they have twins, but they can have up to like quads. Um, Pretty, I wouldn't say extremely normal, but it happens more so than some other breeds. So expect twins, sometimes triplets, and then uh, also the quads. They will produce enough milk to take care of them as long as you're feeding them good. They eat a huge wide range of stuff, like I said, uh, grasses, weeds, forage well in the woods, kind of a deal. I would recommend this for pretty much anybody uh, if they're just wanting to start off on goats. I mean, there's other breeds for specialty aspects if you're wanting to be have a goat dairy or meat production or pets for petting zoo or what have you. There's other breeds that would be more suited, but for starter trial running goats, I definitely recommend Boer crosses. Horns. You can check. I'll do a link in the description about the pros and cons of horns, but um, they're pretty good. As you can see from these goats, they have more of like a Kiko type horn structure, even the male, and the boars are more curled back, almost similar to like a ram, a sheep horns. But anyways, I hope this helps. I will post in the description later when I create a pure boar video. I'll do a link so you can see the comparison. But I really hope this helps. They're really good, easy keepers, by the way. So, you know, they don't have, since they're hybrid, they don't have a lot of health issues generally. So, all in all, definitely a beginner goat, I would say. If you have any questions or comments, please comment down below and I will reply back as soon as I can. Thanks again, and bye.